Namaste, yogis. Welcome to your Friday Flow. I'm Carter, and today's practice is all about creating an inventory, the communication from the body to the mind. So we move mindfully, slow, so the sensation of the bodies can run up through the spine and get to the brain. And then we get a sense of what parts of the body are holding stress and tension, what parts of the body are strong, what parts of the body are weak. And then we can modify as we move through practice and create the foundation for the rest of our day. Let's get to our mat. All right, yogis, come to the front of your mat. Feet are about hips distance apart. Roll the heels out a little bit. Draw that tailbone under. Draw the belly in. Take the hands to heart center. Thumbs touch the heart as you gaze over the fingertips. Bend and straighten the knees. Get a sense of the legs. Take a nice big inhale through your nose. Exhale out your mouth. And we move mindfully. Inhale, arms reach up. Lift the gaze, lift the chin, lift the chest. Hands come through heart center, a little bend in the knees, fold forward. The bending of the knees gets a sense of the connection of the hamstrings to the glutes. Inhale, come halfway up, flatten your back, lift your chin, lift your chest. Exhale, bend your knees, plant your hands, right foot steps back. Drop your right knee down, point your right toes, arms sweep up. Hips sink forward and down till you feel a little something in the top of the right thigh. Press the top of the right foot down to activate that right leg. Bend your elbows, hands and elbows, draw back, lift the heart, chin, and chest. Big inhale, slow exhale, feel the entire body. Keep in mind that our practice is not about fixing, it's about identifying where we feel the sensations. Interlace the fingers behind your back, squeeze the shoulder blades together, straighten the elbows, and then move the head a little bit to make sure the neck stays malleable. Nice. Exhale, release your arms, give them a little shake. Twist to the left, open them up. Look for your left thumb, and then slide that left hand behind the back, and reach that right arm up and over that right ear. Maybe sink a little bit more into the left knee if you need more sensation in that right hip flexor. Nice. Exhale, both hands come down inside of the left foot. Scoot that left foot forward and out to the left and just roll onto the outside of that foot so you can see the bottom of your foot. Left knee draws open, a little shift from side to side. Get a sense of the edges of the sensation. If you need more sensation, you're always welcome to drop the elbows down and go a little bit deeper. And it's a breath or two to make sure that we get a sense of where the body is, right? So connection, inventory, it's all about intimacy. How well do we know ourselves? Hands under shoulders, lift yourself on up and then roll over your right toes, lift your right knee, send your left leg back into a plank or a supported plank, so it can be knees off the ground or knees on the ground. One more deep full breath and then very slowly lower all the way to the floor. Cobra Pose, push through feet, hips and hands, lift chin and chest. Exhale, lower down, soften. Inhale, come on up to table. Spread your fingertips really nice and wide. Knees open up as wide as the hips. Drop the belly, scoop the tailbone up, and then pull the heart through the arms. Lift the chin, lift the chest into cow. And then give your torso a little bit of movement from side to side, kind of like you're wagging the spine. And then slowly back into neutral spine. Then tuck your chin. Round upper back, middle back, low back. Tuck in the tailbone. Pushing the tops of the feet down. Engage in the belly. And give yourself a little wag here. Yes, let's do it again. Inhale. Belly drops. Lift the heart, chin, and chest. Cow. Exhale. Cat. Let's do one more time. Inhale. And exhale. All right, roll over your toes. Lift your knees, lift your hips. Keep the knees bent a little bit. So bring your belly towards your thighs and get that full extension of the arms and spine. And then you're going to alternate right heel towards the earth. Then switch left heel towards the earth. And then do that a few more times. And when you do that, start to shift your hips right and left with the heels. And if you go a little bit more, you can gaze underneath right arm and then gaze underneath left arm. So you're going to get a little bit of movement through the spine, lower back, and the hamstrings. And with this movement, you're just going to walk your feet to your hands. And then inhale, come halfway up, flatten. Let's do the other side. So bend the knees, plant the hands, left foot steps back, knee drops down, toes point, arms reach up. So it's a supported crescent pose, right? And as we draw the hips forward, we're drawing the ribs and belly in so you get that sensation of the quadricep to the hip flexor. Swiveling your palms towards one another to make sure the shoulders are in their sockets and strong. Relax the jaw, and then bend the elbows. Open up through the chest and the fronts of the shoulders, lifting the heart. Nice, and then interlace the fingers behind your back. Opposite thumb comes on top. Squeeze the shoulder blades, straighten the elbows. Ooh, yeah, a little bit of movement with the head. And once again, you can press the top of that back foot into the ground to activate that leg just a little bit. It gives you some stability and maybe a little power in the left leg. Release the arms, give them a little shake, twist to the right. And then open up your arms. Look for your right thumb so you get a nice twist. The belly draws up and in. Take this right hand, slide it behind the back. Now you can slide the hand in the waistband, or you can wrap it around the left hip, or you can even slide it down the left thigh or left hamstring if you like. And then left arm reaches up or over, right? So you can move as much as you would like into this pose. You're breathing into the left ribs, and you got this nice little twist. On the exhalation, take both hands down inside your right foot. So you got full extension of the back leg. This right foot scoots forward so the ankle's in front of the knee, and then scoot it out to the right so it opens up the gate of the hips. And then you're going to just slowly roll on the outside of that foot so you can see the bottom. I want you to be careful of your ankle because we're dealing with really strong muscles here in the groin, hamstring, and IT band. So if you're feeling anything that's uncomfortable in the ankle, just flex that foot a little bit. And then a little bit of movement from side to side. Once again, this is all about inventory. Where's my body at today? And keep in mind that each breath, each moment, we are changing, even if we don't see or feel it. Like oftentimes when we go into our practice, we go to those areas that's familiar. Like, oh yeah, I know this feeling, I know this sensation. But there's other parts of the body that are changing. So if you need more, elbows down. So we're just trying to figure out, where are we changing and where does my body need attention? And then with nurturing loving kindness, we move in that direction of our need. One more breath. Hands under shoulders, lift yourself on up, draw the hips back, send that right foot back. Come into plank or supported plank. You can do the same thing you did last time, so you can go knees, floor, cobra, or you can go halfway down through up dog if you need that variation. And then table pose and then down dog, or skip table, go right to down dog. Child's pose is there if you need it as well. 3 breaths wherever you find yourself. Movement or stillness, whatever the need of the body is asking for. So we're trying to steer clear of thinking and move towards feeling and then responding to the sensation. So for a lot of us, we think we need one thing and sometimes the body needs something different. All right, however you want to get your feet to your hands, you can walk, you can step, or you can float. Inhale, halfway up as you flatten. Exhale, fold forward. You can bend your knees as much as you need to get the sensation in the backs of the legs. And nice and slowly come all the way up to standing. Arms reach up. Lift the gaze. Let's keep going. Right hand grabs left wrist. Exhale, side bend to the right. A little gaze underneath that left arm. Pushing that left hip out. And then inhale, back to center. Let's do the other side. Left hand grabs right wrist, side bend. Allowing the body to expand and maybe find our capacity expand with it. Back to center, lift the gaze. Exhale, fold forward, release your arms, tuck your chin. Inhale, halfway, flatten, lengthen. Exhale, bend the knees, plant the hands, right foot steps back. So this time we're going to keep the right knee off the ground. We're going to lift ourselves on up. So now we're in crescent, so a little bit more of a balance pose. Arms reach up. Elbows bend, hands and elbows draw back. Let's take the right arm underneath the left arm, stack the elbows, grab the shoulders. If you have the flexibility, you can take the right hand and grab the inside of the left wrist for eagle arms. Hinge forward a little bit so the elbows come off the chest and draw those shoulder blades down. Bring the weight to your left foot and come off your back foot. One just deep full breath here. You can bend and straighten that left knee. You can lift that right leg as high as you would like. And then step it back to the toes. Lift those elbows up, maybe a very subtle back bend. Then take your back foot and swivel it. Twist to the right, open up your arms. Warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 2. And then swivel the palms up and down. Move your shoulders with them. Slide your right hand behind your back. Sink more into that left knee and reach that left arm up and over. So it's a reverse warrior with the right hand behind the back. That right hand behind the back is going to help open up through the front of this right shoulder. So press the back of that right hand into the lower back and draw that right elbow and shoulder back. When you do that, invite this left knee out towards pinky toe. So we're opening up through pelvis and the fronts of the shoulders. Take your left forearm to your left knee or thigh, swivel the left palm up, and then you're going to slide this right arm up towards the ceiling. If it feels pretty good, stay here. If you want a little bit more, rotate the hand so it's forward, and then extend that right arm over that right ear. Draw the right shoulder, right elbow back. Lift the gaze up towards the ceiling, and then look down to that left big toe. And then bring that right hand down, roll under the right toes, twist and open, left arm reaches up, dragonfly twist. And then bring the left hand down. Let's come into pigeon left side. So take that left shin down so the left foot is in alignment with right leg. And then drop that right knee, point the right toes. A little shift from side to side to make sure the lower sacrum or the bones in the front of the pelvis are square to the floor. And if you need more sensation in that left hip, you can always scoot that left foot forward, lower the elbows down, soften belly, chest, jaw. You can always go farther if you need it. And then we're here for a couple breaths, an opportunity for us to take the inventory. The inventory for me, what I usually do, it's from gross realm, which is the physical body. We go through koshas, layers, levels. And so I usually go through the body first. How's my body doing? You know, in this pose, I can feel the left hip. I feel a little bit in the groin, maybe right hip flexor. So that's where I am today. Then I go a little bit deeper into the energetic body. How am I doing with my energy? Have I been resting well? Have I been eating well? Do I feel like my energy is high or low? And then we start to get into a little bit more of the subtle body. It's a little bit more challenging. It's the emotional body. How's my heart doing? And you can spend some time there. And when you're doing this, you know, you're getting a little bit of the benefits of the hip opener. And then lastly, you can go into your spiritual body. Am I connected to the things that are important to me? And at any point in time, if you're deficient in any of those areas, the question can be, what kind of action can I take to support those needs? That's what we call radical self-care. And this practice is about just checking in. All right, hands under shoulders, gently lift yourself on up. Just drop to your left hip, sweep your right leg around, and bring the soles of the feet together. Grab the feet, scoot the heels towards you, and draw your knees towards the floor. Lift the heart, maybe open up through the shoulder blades as the shoulders draw down and away from the ears. Try not to collapse in the shoulders as you come forward. So think about belly button towards the heels. It's just hinging at the waist. If you do need more, the elbows can come out towards the calves or knees, and you can press out for expansion and then slowly press down. And just like our hip opener, we spend a little time in the groins just to make sure that they're soft. And groins are different than like hamstrings or hips because it's a little bit more connective tissue than fibrous muscle. And then we just give ourselves a breath or two to soften into it. A chance to check in. And one of these things, right, we talk about yoga practice. And what we're doing is we're practicing creating the foundation of inventory that we possibly can do it more often throughout the day. So we don't need our mat to do inventory, right? We can just move around and say, how am I doing right now? Like if you're at your desk or something. So trying to create a habit of checking in with yourself a little bit more often than we currently do. Nice inhale, come on up, hands on the outsides of the knees, lift the knees up. Ooh, feet to the floor. Now let's take the hands to the backs of the knees. Let's root down through the sit bones, come onto your toes until you're balancing, and then you're going to flex your feet. And then engage the belly a little. And if your lower back is sensitive or you're just not feeling like you need this kind of a powerful pose, this is perfect, right? You're lifting the heart and opening up the shoulders. If you do need a little bit more, you can lift the feet up so shins are parallel or the knees are straight. This may be enough. And if you want a little bit more, you can extend the arms. And then give yourself another breath or two and you can create stillness, or you can move a little bit. You can lower halfway down and do any variation that allows you to feel some strength, heat, and power in the body. So when we're checking in, we're like, do I need this? Maybe I do, maybe I don't, right? So that's inventory and doing the things that work well for the body. All right, cross at your ankles, draw your feet towards you. Roll over your feet, plant your hands, walk or step all the way back to any variation of chaturanga. So it could be halfway down up dog or knees floor cobra. And if that movement's not working for you, right in a down dog or child's pose, which you will end up into, and you'll give yourself a breath or two. And then when you're ready, feet to hands. Inhaling, coming up halfway, flattening. Exhale, folding, tucking the chin. Let's do the other side. So plant the hands, left foot steps back. Sit in your left toes, arms reach up. Adjust. So if you're not feeling stable, get stable. This is a little bit of a balance pose that we're going to do in a moment. So when you're here, arms reach up, right? Palms face one another. Ribs and belly draw in, tuck the tailbone. Elbows bend, hands and elbows draw back. Left elbow underneath right elbow, so the elbows are stacked. Eagle arms, if it's available, left hand inside right wrist or palm. A breath. Check in, how am I doing? Elbows forward. This may be enough, right? Keep in mind, this is not Simon Says. You do what works best for you. If you're up for it, weight comes to the right foot. Come off the left toes. Create space between the shoulder blades as you draw the shoulders down and away from the ears. Maybe bend and straighten the right knee. Softly come back, left toes. Arms reach up, subtle back bend. Swivel that back foot to ground down. Twist to the left, open up your arms. Warrior two. I don't know why I'm always ending up in the wrong direction. That's my better side, by the way, my back. You can't see my face. All right, warrior two. Swivel your palms up and down, move the shoulders. Slide the left hand behind the back, either hand in the waistband or around that right hip, or maybe you grab the top of the right thigh. Swivel your right palm up as you sink low into the right knee and ease into reverse warrior. So right arm reaches up and over. You're going to draw the left shoulder, left elbow back. The gaze could be underneath that right tricep or down to the left big toe. So whatever works with the neck. Checking in again. Taking that inventory. Right forearm to right knee. Left arm up towards the ceiling. And then maybe swivel the palm towards the front of the room and find that extension as you reach up and over the left ear. Left shoulder, left hip, draw back, lift the gaze. Right knee presses out towards right pinky toe, opening up through the pelvis, the chest. Awesome. Look down to your right big toe. Left hand comes down. Roll onto your left toes and twist and open right arm reaches up. Dragonfly twist. So you're hugging the right thigh towards the belly, pushing into the right heel to support the left hand, and maybe roll your right wrist. Right hand comes down, pigeon right side, so right foot in alignment with left leg. You can always start with a nice big angle of the shin. Drop the left knee, point the left toes, find some right side, left side, maybe different. So make your adjustments. The closer the shin is to the front of the mat, the more intense the sensation will get. I want to make sure your knees are okay, your ankles are okay, your bones are okay. So never any sensation in the joints that are painful. And then we soften. And we check in. Indicator is the breath pattern. Like for a lot of us, like if you are like an athlete, for years you've been told like no pain, no gain. You push through the pain. And it's taken me a long time to unprogram myself of that. So we want to be very careful of pain and managing that. And so how we can identify that is if I can smooth out my breath nice and gentle and soften my body, then that's probably enough. But if I'm kind of gritting my teeth and I'm like, oh man, this is a doozy, and I can't kind of manage it, it may be too much. And I'm talking about sensation is too much. Pain, you'll know it's sharp, right? So we want to steer clear of that sharpness. But if that sensation is too much, the breath pattern will kind of tell you. So we smooth it out, inhalation and exhalation, deep and free. Almost there. All right. Hands under shoulders, lift yourself on up. Drop to your right hip, sweep your left leg around, soles of the feet together again. This time, feet are going to be a little bit farther away from you. They either make a square or a diamond, so you can scoot them as far forward as you like. Move the flesh from under your sit bones so you can root down, and then lean forward. So think extension from tailbone, crown of the head. When you get that full extension, so moving, let's say, heart to heels, then tuck your chin, and then just a subtle rounding of the upper back as you soften, so I don't want you to press. You're here first, letting gravity do the work. If you get here and you're like, well, I could use more, well, then pull a little bit farther forward, not necessarily down. Bring your awareness to where you feel it. Soften into it. The inventory is not just the areas that are intense, but all the sensations, because the subtle sensations will be the sensations that are intense tomorrow, the next day, or next week. It'll be there somewhere. It'll show up. So we do want to do a little preemptive understanding of where the body's at so we can address it so it doesn't become a huge problem, right? One more breath. Inhale, come on up. Nice work. Hands on the outsides of the knees, lift the knees up, feet to the floor, and let's do that boat pose again. So let's take the hands to the backs of the knees, lean back, balance, whatever variation works for you today. 2 breaths. Wiggle the fingers, toes, roll the wrists and ankles. In boat pose, we're just engaging the belly and lifting the heart. Knees bent and straight, or whatever is working. And then let's lower halfway down. I used to call this canoe, but somebody else said, like, how about kayak? I'm like, oh, yeah, kayak's good. Lower 1 inch off the ground. I call this hard. All the way down. Scoot yourself to your middle of your mat. Draw the knees towards your belly chest. Squeeze them in. And then the feet come to the floor about hips distance apart. Hands are by the side body, palms up or down, and maybe your fingertips can feel your heels. Press through your feet, lift your lower back, mid back, upper back, your hips up towards the ceiling. You can also kind of rock a little bit as you squeeze the shoulder blades together, and if it's available, you can interlace the fingers behind your back. And if you're moving in this variation, see if you can straighten the elbows, Push the sides of your hands into the ground as well as the triceps and the shoulders, and see if you can lift the lower part of your ribs up. And then draw your chin a little bit towards the chest. Should be pretty square, so I don't want you to be looking at the screen if you have to go right or left. So the chin should be straight to the sternum. And lift the hips and maybe come onto your toes if you need more space. And give yourself a few deep, full breaths. This is a nice counter pose for those boat poses that we were doing. Heels lower, hands release, very slowly lower the hips down. And then just windshield wiper knees side to side to soften lower back. Straighten your left knee, and then draw the right knee towards the belly chest. Left hand invites the right knee towards the floor to the left. Spinal twist, extend your right arm like a wing. Soften that right shoulder blade to the floor as you open up through the right side of the chest, shoulder, maybe even bicep. Chin can drop towards the right shoulder if that feels okay in the neck. And with your left hand that's on that right knee or in that crease of the right knee, if you need a little bit more, you can invite that right knee down a little, or maybe even to the left, like you're pulling almost out, like you're trying to pull out of the hip. And this may show up in the lower part of the back spine, right hip. It's a little bit more of an active spinal twist. Starting to wind down from practice, so see if you can start to smooth out the breath a little bit more. Still checking in the whole inventory of the body. Gently bring that right knee back on up. Bring both feet to the floor again. Move those knees right to left to windshield wiper the lower back to soften. And let's try the other side. So right knee straightens, left knee towards belly chest. And it's the right hand on the outside of the left knee as you guide it towards the floor. And then stretch and extend the left arm out to the left. Left shoulder is heavy. Gaze towards the left thumb if it feels okay in the neck. Soften belly, lower back. And the right hand, once again, can invite that left knee down a little towards the floor and maybe a little bit to the right. It can get a little bit intense fairly quickly, so be really gentle. And the nice thing about this inventory practice is if we're paying attention and always monitoring, we'll never overdo it in our bodies because we're doing this self-regulation practice constantly. What do I need? What do I need? I'd rather do less than more, because the more we could always hurt ourselves. So if we're doing less and we're practicing every day, it's more than enough. Physically, energetically, emotionally, spiritually. All right, left knee back up to center. Both feet to the floor. Windshield wiper knees side to side. If the lower back feels sensitive, just slide into Shavasana. If it feels pretty good, you can slide into Happy Baby. So hands grab shins, ankles, big toes or bottoms of the feet. Lift the feet up, ankles over the knees or in that direction. Separating the feet as wide as you can. A little bit of movement side to side. All right. And now that inventory is taken care of, now we get a chance to rest. So Shavasana. Last resting pose, heels towards the corners of your mat. Externally rotate the thighs so the feet fall open. Palms are up, or left hand to heart, right hand to belly. Tuck your chin. Soften the jaw, close the eyes. Just a few moments here. You're always welcome to stay longer in your Shavasana if you need it, so please do that. But for right now, soften fingers, toes, arms and legs, belly, chest. Soften the face, the jaw, the eyes in their sockets, forehead, inner ears, and the scalp. And a moment to be here now. You deserve it. All of it. Everything in this moment. And once again, if you have the time and space to stay here for another 5, maybe even 10 minutes, please do that. If your day is waiting for you, very slowly start to deepen the breath. Drop your right ear towards the earth. Rock your head gently side to side. Wiggle your toes, then your fingers. Roll the wrists and then the ankles. Extend the arms up over your head. Stretch from your fingers all the way down to your toes. On the exhalation, draw the knees towards the belly. Wrap your arms around your legs. Give yourself a little loving kindness. Right arm reaches up over your head. Roll to your right side. A moment to be here now. Honor your body and your needs, making sure that you take action to support the areas that need attention, because you deserve it. And everybody around you needs it as well. Pressing your hands into the ground, bring yourself up into a comfortable seat. Nice long spine, tuck the chin. Hands come together. Take a nice big inhale through your nose and exhale out your mouth. Thanks for joining me for your practice. Namaste. Nice work for showing up for your practice today. If you guys have any questions or comments about this practice, leave it in the comment section below. If you liked it, give me a thumbs up. And make sure you subscribe to my channel to keep updated on all the latest content. See you on your mat. Peace.